the teeth in the word popcorn. Nope, it says margarine. Alright, if anybody's watching, my internet is bad, so it might die. If it does, say what it is. Should you pep talk her or change the subject to give her some relief? Pep talk her. Remember last month when we saw the fortune teller and had our tarot cards read? Let me turn this down a little bit. The lady with the mask who gave me nightmares? I've been trying to forget. I know she looked spooky, but she was so sweet, and she told you that you were destined for great things. Remember that card with the fancy-looking tower? And that other card featuring the handsome fellow in the red suit? I've been waiting for so long to meet a handsome fellow I call my own. And I'm sure you will soon. In no time, we'll be graduating. You'll be delighting the world with your heartfelt cooking in no time. As you talk Miriam up, you can feel her nerves begin to ease. You know what? Maybe everything will be okay after all. And if not, at least I have these killer bangs. Can you believe I cut them myself? Yes, I can. Ha! You can definitely believe it. I cannot believe it. Before you can get another word out, you're rudely interrupted when someone smacks your books and custom engraved measuring spoons out of your hands and onto the ground. It's Ashley, your arch rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help but be filled with jealousy. She can get anything she wants and she knows it. She's got red eyes. Hello, Ashley. Oh, I didn't see you there, chicken shins. You leave Pogos shins alone. They're perfectly normal shins. Oh, you can't stand Ashley. Even her name is annoying. You know for a fact it's actually Ashley, but she had to add extra letters to make herself feel better than everyone. If anyone here knows what perfect shins look like, it's us. We're not gonna let you or your really weird insults get to us. That's terrible. Van. You've never been sure what their arrangement is, but as long as you've known them, Ashley and Van have been just as close as you and Miriam, but substantially more devious. I can't believe that the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, that's an awfully long name for a school, would ever allow people like you to attend as its students. Really? Well, Dr. Meep, the game's free, too. So it's gotta be worth it. It's free. Maybe hire us as professors. Two amateurs could learn a lot from us. With the first day of school about to start, there's just not time to properly tell these two off, so you resist the urge. See you later, losers. As you approach the door, you see a goofy-looking kid pushing hard against the window directly next to you. What the hell is this kid? Oopsie. I think it's broken. You reach forward and easily pull the door open. That should do the trick. Hello, kid. I think you mean thank you. My name is Pop. I was named after my Pop. He's old. Could someone like this also be a student at this school? He must be one heck of a chef. Also, his name tag clearly says Bob, but I guess he's reading it upside down. Hi, Pop. I'm Pogos, so... Are you gonna make me hold this door all day? Nope. And with that, the young man walks into the building ahead of you. Is it just me, or is he kind of cute? I think it's just you. You both shrug your shoulders before following him into the building. You stand at the edge of the room, unsure where to sit. Other students wander in and keep themselves busy chit-chatting. A scruffy-looking pooch takes his place at the podium in the front of the class with a doorbell. The dog's name Sprinkles. Wonderful. Now, quiet down, everyone. Who is this unreasonably cute pup, and why is he in our culinary class? He must be Sprinkles, head instructor and CEO of UCSAL. Please, call me Professor Dog. I may be cute and little and fluffy, but I still demand respect. Woof. What? A cute dog is our professor? This is the best school ever. I guess only a dog's nose is capable of picking up on all the nuances of fine dining. Out of nowhere, the wind begins to rush around. You see WiiU as a swirl of cherry blossom petals filled the air inside the classroom. I'm chilly. Someone close the window. And he walks in. You're immediately swept up in the aura of this new student and his remarkable glee. Who knew anyone could be so handsome? Time stands still. It's him. If it isn't my favorite student, Harland. Colonel Sanders interrupts Sprinkles. Sorry, Professor Dog, before he can finish his sentence. Please call me Colonel. Colonel Sanders. A hushed murmur through the classroom as Colonel Sanders walks down the aisle of desks. Suddenly, the room is sweltering. Sweat begins to bead across your brow. You feel like everyone is looking at you, and you're not entirely wrong. And this over here must be sweaty sweats a lot. Aha! Maybe we should open that window back up before a faucet pits, melts into a puddle, and evaporates entirely. Hold on a second. Nobody talks to my friend like that. You both know my name. We were in the same kindergarten class. And what is with all your really weird insults? Besides, when Pogos sweats, it's not gross, it's beautiful. Look at that shimmer. You take a moment to clean yourself up. Good thing you didn't forget about that deodorant this morning. This classroom is hot, hot, hot. Professor Dog steps in to settle the class down and set some ground rules. Welcome to the University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning. Wow, that's a lot of words. The greatest culinary academy in the world. The birthplace of culinary legends past, present, and future. Many challenges await you. There will be tears, there will be blood. There might even be really adorable tiny food. And when all is said and done, there will be a battle. You will lift your sporks and compete in a broom cooking arena. Just then, another student enters the classroom and interrupts the professor of his rousing speech. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. Hope everyone had a good summer. I really miss. Quiet! Late to class is bad enough, but interrupting my monologue? You're on the fast track out of here, young man. Are you sure you're even in the right place? Don't you recognize me? This is my third year in this school with you as my teacher. Everyone stares at him blankly. Does no one remember me? You're expelled if you utter one more word before I finish. With the dog. Let that be a lesson to you students that tardiness is unacceptable. Even Clank made it here on time, rolling halfway across town on his tiny wheels. Turn to see the student Sprinkles is referring, who appears to be some sort of industrial kitchen appliance. The class bursts into laughter. Oh, Clank, you rascal. Sprinkles walks into the classroom as everyone stands in silent obedience. When he gets to you, he lifts his nose into the air and takes a deep sniff. That's pretty fine. That's pretty hilarious. Your diet is lacking. Based on what I'm picking up here, you definitely need a multivitamin. You should be taking better care of yourself. You've never had a talking dog as a teacher before, but Sprinkles' reputation for being smart but tough is well known. Let's see, you decided to butter him up by giving him a treat from your pocket. But what kind? I say give him a chicken snack. You reach beneath your apron and return with a chicken snack in your hand. Sprinkle's eyes go wide as he walks onto it. His favorite. Well, 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 I think there might be some competition for the new star student. The furry professor immediately devours the snack, leaving your hand slick with a coating of warm doggy drool. You see the other students eyeing you jealously. But pay no mind to them. If they wanted to succeed in life, they should have learned the importance of carrying a range of dog treat flavors on them at all times. Settle down, young chefs. Take your seats and prepare to have your minds open to the amazing possibilities of culinary creation. As everyone rushes to claim their favorite seats, you're left standing at the front of the room. Only two options remain. Hey, Pogo, there's a seat here. It seems that no one has claimed this seat next to me. If you're interested. Who do I sit next to? Do I sit next to Colonel Sanders? Or do I sit next to my friend? Alright, anybody in chat? I see we got two people. Two people in chat. Who should I sit next to? Somebody say something. Don't think I'm playing this just for my enjoyment. Anybody? Sanders, okay. You move to take your seat by Colonel Sanders. It appears he brought no books, pens, or pencils. However, his perfect, upright posture shows off a seriousness that makes you confident in his desire to learn. Thanks for offering the seat. I've only had two rules. Do all you can and do the best you can. It's the only way you ever get that feeling of accomplishing something. That's so inspiring. A little off topic, if you ask me, but okay. Look at this. They got a picture of a bucket of fried chicken and in math problems. Yeah, the stream probably is buffering a little. I don't know if it's my internet or whatever. As soon as you've settled into your seat, the professor makes an announcement. Think fast. It's time for a pop quiz. Yay, a quiz about me. His name's Bob. This incredibly important and surprisingly short quiz will tell me if you are ready for life at culinary school. Keep your knives sharp and your focus sharper. Here comes question 1. If train A is traveling to point B and train B is traveling to point A, how important is it to wash your hands before cooking? Doesn't matter at all. Math depends. That's right. Alright, forest is the tree, as chicken is to... I'm gonna have to say feather. What's the most efficient eating utensil ever created? Oh, you know what? You gotta say a spork. What food is best for a broken heart? It's either a pancake that looks like a silly face, camel meat, anything as long as it's prepared with love and not too much salt. Is Sprinkles a good boy? Yes. He's a talking dog that teaches at our culinary school. He is the best boy. That's right. Your total score is... Wow, be honest, did you cheat? You look up to see that Colonel Sanders has been watching you tally your score. He's impressed. I know we just met, but I have to confess. I think you have a beautiful brain. Hot diggity, Pogo. You just scored some major Colonel Sanders points with that performance. Aw, Colonel. Bet you say that to all the streamers. May I have your attention, students? I have an important announcement to make. Time for lunch. Wow, the cafeteria is as nice as any restaurant you've ever been at. It makes sense that a school dedicated to cooking would also be serious about eating. A delicious fragrance wafts through the room and tickles the end of your nose. Your mouth waters. Do you smell that? That must be our lunch. It smells crazy good. Hey everyone, can I have your attention? Is it about lunch? No, I just wanted to apologize for my tardiness. You see, I was... Howdy, folks. I'd like to make an announcement. Hey, I was... It's about lunch. Everyone's yours. But I... Shh. Lunch. She said shush. In honor of the new semester, I have prepared something special to share with everyone for lunch. It's chicken.
Aha!
That must be the smell I smelled. Indeed. That smell? You hold your breath, waiting to see what food that mysterious student has created. You've heard he's very, very talented, but were the rumors true? I really hope he made potato wedges. Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head, its contents glimmer in the light. Piled high are huge pieces of chicken, breaded and fried to a crispy golden finish. The aroma envelops you, and you begin to feel warm and safe. Colonel Sanders has filled a bucket with chicken? What a novel concept. Your stomach begins to grumble as if to say, stop thinking and start eating. For years, I've been developing a secret recipe for the perfect fried chicken. By my calculation, nothing less than 11 herbs and spices are required to achieve the perfect balance of flavors. You look around and notice that every other student has a pen and paper and is scribbling notes as fast as they can. But that's all I'll say about that. What, you think we want your stupid recipe, dude? Nah, my dude, nah. I'm drafting the last one testament in case one of those ingredients is poison. He looks around nervously to see if anyone is laughing at his sick burn. You wait to see what zinger Ashley has prepared to follow up, but she suddenly takes a different approach. It's on Steam, and actually it's free, too. Yeah, and I was just, writing in my diary. Dear diary, today I smelled something beautiful. I knew at that moment that only the hands of a true gentleman could fry chicken so tender. You see her body language change from bitter and evil to sweet and innocent as she slides closer to Colonel Sanders. She realizes that he is destined for greatness and fame. With cooking skills like this, she wants him all to herself. Oh, please. Well, Van, the man, if you don't want any, I'll take his. Whoa, hold on, I guess I'll try it. He takes one bite and his eyes glow wide. He starts contorting his face as he tries to hold in his pure exhilaration and act unimpressed. Easy now. There's enough for everyone. Please, my fellow classmates, dig in. You take one of the pieces of fried chicken out of this bucket and sink your teeth into it. It's amazing. Tasting Colonel Sanders' food transports you to another dimension. Alone with your taste buds, gripping a drumstick in your hand, you float weightlessly. Alright, so we got 2 people in the chat. Should I say focus your mind and meditate on this moment? Try and identify every flavor. Or savor the moment and everything that it tells you about Colonel Sanders' culinary heart. Or swim towards the light. First person that says what I should do is what I will select. 3. Alright. Go towards the light. You got it. Somewhere up ahead, a bright light beckons you. The flavors are so intense you become wrapped up in them. Unable to resist, you reach towards the light. It grabs your hand and pulls you closer, until your fingertip connects with the end of everything. You are forever lost in a land of tender, fried chicken bliss. Your mind dissolves. There is no pogo now. There is only herbs and spices. Though Miriam tries to revive you, she cannot. Game over. Game over, man. Oh, Adrian. Adrian. Oh, don't tell me I gotta start over from the beginning, dude. I better not. Oof. Alright. I'm skipping this because I already read it. Alright, what should I say? Try to identify every... I'm gonna do this one. Number 2. The flavors in your mouth are beautiful, pure, heavenly. What a guy. Alone with the flavors, you feel something that can only be described as love. For a man, for a flavor, are they the same? How about just for the chicken? After tasting his food, you try to get some one-on-one time with Colonel Sanders. You approach Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders smiles ever so softly as you approach. He stops what he is doing and allows you to break the silence. Colonel, I wondered if I could talk to you for a second. Anything for a fellow chef. What exactly was on that chicken? Acid. Haha, how bold to come out and ask. It's an idea I had for a new combination of flavors that will make me my fortune and establish my legacy for all time as I open a chain of highly successful fast food fried chicken restaurants. No big deal. It's just you and me here talking. I can keep a secret. In fact, I've got some of my own I'd be willing to trade. What's the rush? The semester is only getting started. It's a 3-day year. We got 2 more whole days to get to know each other. He's clearly not going to give it up so easily, but it doesn't hurt to be persistent. You know what they say about secrets, Colonel? Shouldn't learning be fun? Aww. You've got moxie, I'll give you that. Colonel Sanders looks both ways to make sure you're truly alone, and it leans in. You can feel his warm breath as he whispers. Just one ingredient. But you can't tell. I use... It's something my great-grandmother taught me. What do you think he uses on his chicken? Wow, you'd never have guessed that. In fact, you're not even sure where you'd get some if you searched. I have an idea. While you're wrapped up in that huge revelation, you notice that Colonel Sanders has disappeared. While everyone else is still in the cafeteria, you decide to look for him. You find Colonel Sanders outside, sitting in the quad. Oh, it's you again. Howdy. Sometimes I like to come outside and look at the school buildings. I think about how my story will continue on after I've graduated. It sounds like you have big plans. I dare say, the biggest. I will leave my mark on this world, you can bet on that. Alone together for the first time, you figure now is the perfect moment to show your personality to him. Beg him to show your own strength. Wow him with a big idea to add an additional ingredient to really spice things up. Be modest but thoughtful. I'm gonna be modest but thoughtful. I just wanted to tell you I really enjoyed your food. Now you've got his attention. What is this thing? The flavors were complex but comforting. The interplay between salty, savory, and peppery was perfect. I'm sure you'll be a big success. I know we've only met today, but I'm starting to get the same feeling about you. We should head back inside. The next lesson starts soon. You step into the massive cooking arena where the afternoon lesson will take place. Each student gets an oven and all the tools and ingredients they need. Look at this place, it's magnificent. Finally, we get to show off our stuff. Oh, wait a second. Oh no, we have to show our own stuff. What if I totally blow it? You're not gonna blow anything, except maybe kisses to crowds of fans you're gonna earn with your signature adorable tiny food creations. There's the dog. For today's lesson, we'll be cooking with partners. Hurry up and pair off. Naturally, Miriam looks over at you, but unable to control yourself, you pounce on Colonel Sanders. Hey, Colonel, would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? A team of two, that is. Me and you, if that wasn't clear. Want to be my partner?
Aww.
Without you as a partner, Miriam is left standing all alone. Two different students quickly take notice. Hello, new partner. Two potential partners? Huh. I want the robot to be your partner. Clank. Sorry, Pop, I think Miriam will be partnering with Clank today. It's not entirely clear if Pop has any idea what the point of school even is at this juncture. Clank is clearly excited to have some attention. He heats up and begins to roll back and forth. Hold on there, fella. We don't even know what the assignment is yet. Technically, Clank might not have a face, but there's something charming and earnest about him. Tissue? I hardly know you. Ha 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 ha. Clank judders and a panel shakes loose. You get the impression that this is a sign of infection. Looks like you two will be fine. Alright, you two, for today's lesson we're going to keep it simple. Pick a basic dish and divide up the steps. No chef is an island. It takes two flints to make a fire. You get the idea. Alright. Using octopus? No. Your grandmother's mashed potatoes and gravy? Steak tartare seems easy enough. It's fancy. You don't have to cook it. Making hearts. Mashed potatoes. And gravy. I couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a coy look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. I'll go with the potatoes. No, please, let me. Picking perfect produce is a passion of mine. Looks like things are getting pretty fresh around here. Does someone have a crush on Colonel Sanders? I don't know. We're just cooking partners. Mind your own business. Sanders' heart is my business. You better keep your fingers off my man. Did someone call for me? Oh, no, geez, Van. While all over here crushing Pogos' dreams, this was taking care of our classroom. That was the deal, remember? Colonel Sanders returns, arms full of peeled potatoes. He tosses them into boiling water and turns to you and your old friend. Oh, howdy there, Ashley. Van. Are we working in a quartet instead of a duet now? Actually, no. It was like Pogo was struggling, so we offered to give them a hand. You know how it is. These young amateur chefs need a lot of mentoring. I was going to say, Colonel Sanders, maybe I could also teach you a thing or two about fancy food. Maybe one day you might be able to get up to my level. Doubt it. Don't be rude, Van. Personally, I have no doubts whatsoever about Colonel Sanders' ability to contract creations worthy of admiration. After all, your fried chicken was quite spectacular. But Colonel, if you ask me, can you guys still hear me? Yeah, the music is pretty bad. There. I lowered it a little bit. Don't you feel deep down that we cast complementary shadows? We fit together like a thigh and a drumstick? Just makes sense. Nothing about this makes any sense, but one thing is clear, she's coming for Colonel if you don't watch out. Ashley is really going at you hard. You need to ask for some backup here before things get ugly. Alright. What should I do? Turn to Colonel Sanders or turn to Miriam? Up to you. Alright. You turn to Miriam. As soon as you find her, she senses it and looks back. This girl's friend in need radar is second to none. Is somebody threatening my friend? I will destroy them. I actually think that Ashley and Van were just leaving you in the dust. Vis-a-vis my skills as a chef, perhaps. But stepping away from this competition, you are sorely mistaken. Miriam, you're a loyal friend, but Pogo is my partner for today's activity. You look for Sprinkles in hopes that he might step in, but nowhere to be found. Darn those cute corgis and their short but sturdy stature. You look down at your station and realize that in the tension of the moment, your hands have been cooking on autopilot. Distracted by the drama, you've already crushed the boiled potatoes into a perfectly creamy mashed texture with plenty of butter and cream for flavor. It's as if your national passion guided you through the steps you know so well, while your attention rolled elsewhere. I know just what to do. Colonel Sanders extended his hand. He's holding a beautiful white porcelain gravy boat out of which pours a smooth brown gravy, smothering your nearly finished potato dish. Hey, what's up, Chaos? Gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes. The results look spectacular. Granny would be very proud. Colonel Sanders holds a spork out for you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. The two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that moment, all of the madness and pressure in this crazy world stops. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric. Time stands still. If you love something, eat it with gravy. Together, you dig the utensil into the mashed potatoes and lift a heaping sporkful up. When you see Ashley with a sinister look, you know she's plotting against you to be with Colonel Sanders. And then, filled with rage and without thinking, you fling the sporkful of mashed potatoes right into Ashley's stupid, beautiful face. Why would you do that? Van, do something, do something. Scooping up a fingerful, Van tastes the dripping mashed potatoes and gravy and realizes that it's delicious. Horrified by this revelation, he slinks away. Will he ever be able to cook something filled with so much love and integrity? Hold on right there, Pogo. We do not waste food in the broom cooking arena. Colonel Sanders, I expect better from you. If you throw one more spoonful, you'd both better be prepared to eat it from wherever it lands. Can I has potato face? Van rushes back over, a covered dish in his hand. Mashed potatoes with gravy, pathetic. In just a few minutes, I prepared a full meal. Braised tentacle of octopus. The interrupting student rushes at Van and swipes a bite of his signature dish. No, don't! Something about this dish doesn't strike my nose quite right. I think the octopus was rushed and may have turned in the process. The results could be toxic. Too late. It's been eaten. I think I left something in the oven. I don't feel so good. It killed him? Wait a minute. He's a ghost now? Everyone step back. Don't take another bite. When you look back at the plate, the rest of it's gone. You notice the tip of the tentacle being slurped up in Pop's mouth. Pop winces in pain for just a moment, then is almost immediately back to his oblivious self. Oopsie. Tastes like poison. The entire class is gathered to watch Pop's final moments. Shock has frozen the whole crowd. They are as motionless as statues. The class bell rings, disrupting the moment and snapping everyone back to reality. It would appear that Pop's enthusiasm for trying new things, despite obvious danger, has inoculated him against poisons of all kinds. Alright. I'm not sure the professors here make enough money. Ghost of student. Oh, I just turned into a ghost over here. Seeing that you're shaken up by that really annoying student and all of his nonsense that just died, Colonel Sanders approaches you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Please let me walk you home. What? Like for real? Oh, come on. You follow Colonel Sanders out of the room. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark and more than a little spooky. But Colonel Sanders holds your hand, and you know everything will be okay. Colonel Sanders stands in the quad's neon glow and speaks softly. Those mashed potatoes you made in class today. Before you go on, I want you to know they're not a great representation of my skills. I didn't even realize I was making them. They were amazing. Tasting them, it reminded me why I became so passionate about food to begin with. Colonel Sanders is getting all choked up. Cooking is obviously important to him in a way that you find inspiring. It's up to Distilled Chaos. Now might be the perfect time to tell him you're developing feelings for him. Colonel Sanders? Yes, Pogo? There's something I need to tell you. Aha! Hold it right there. There's something I need to tell you first. Oh, jeez. You see, when I was just a boy, I had a dream. I had a dream that one day I would be the greatest chef the world has ever seen. And ever since that day, I've been working towards that dream, day and night, never stopping, never resting. Also lifting a lot of weights. Like, so many weights. We should follow our dreams with all of our hearts, that our souls might grant them like wishes floating on a shooting star. Ugh. Hey, no, you. Shut up. I'm the one who wants to say inspirational stuff and be the star of the story. Are we forgetting that your cooking literally killed the guy? You can't prove that. I also saw you kill that guy. What was his name? Somewhere in the distance, you hear a long, sad sigh. Forget him. We're talking about me. Me. I'm the hero. The Spork Monster is here to fight a hero. What? Alright, I'm a little lost. I think I left the fridge door open. Later, nerds. How dare you threaten me just as I was letting down my guard and connecting with another chef on an emotional level. Be afraid, be very afraid of me because I'm a monster, see? Is he rhyming on purpose or is that just a coincidence? But before you can discuss syntax any later. It's a turn-based fight sequence. What will you do? You decide to go on the attack. Oh, cook with love. Cook with love does 1 damage. It just got real. That attack really upset Spork Monster. Cook with love does 1 damage. Spork Monster focuses their mashed mind and draws in energy from Mother Earth itself. They grow larger and more intimidating. How will you respond? Let's just defend. You decide to defend. Trepidation. You hold your head between your hands and mutter, "This is not happening, this is not happening." Spork Monster uses utilitensile. If you take much more damage, you're not going to survive. Spork Monster is oozing cheese sauce on the lawn of the quad. I wonder who's going to have to clean that up. Feeling vulnerable, Spork Monster prepares its ultimate attack, Rounded Edge. Wow, villain, your reign of terror stops here. Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens. Pot Pie Power Pinch. Pot Pie Power Pinch does 10 damage. An injured Spork Monster spews steam into the night. Alright. We got 3 people watching. Should I spare this wretched beast or should I finish him? First person that answers is what I'll say. Anybody? What should I say? Should I say forget Mercy, finish him? Or spare this wretched beast? God, finish. No students will ever walk the quad in fear again. This monster messed with the wrong chef. You'll never survive my student debt loan destruction. You continue to surprise me. The defeated monster left behind a special item. It appears to be a cookbook, but upon closer inspection, it's so much more. It's a book of magic spells with a golden chicken on the cover. You open the cover and find a library card tucked inside. The last name to have signed off on it is Borko. Borko, that name sounds strangely familiar. Your blood is pumping as you stand in the quiet of the night, holding Colonel Sanders' hand. As you come down from your battle buzz, you realize that your final attack has left you completely depleted. The world around you begins to fade away. Without any energy to keep your eyes open, darkness overtakes you. The image of Colonel Sanders flashes before your eyes as you fall asleep. He must have helped you get home. In your tired state, you don't know if you could have made it without him. What a guy. You want to thank him, but you don't have the strength to utter a single word. You feel your covers being pulled up over you as you're tucked in tightly. Good night, my turn. Good night, my colonel. In your dream, you're together with Colonel Sanders. For some reason, Sprinkles is also there, instructing your love. Dreams are weird. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might like Clank. Like him? Like? I know, it sounds like moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. I like him. It's a robot. We've got to start talking after class. And he's actually a total sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in high school? No, that does make complete sense. Yeah, but he was so popular that they voted prom king at a school he didn't even go to. And he was also the convertible that he rode in at the front of homecoming parade. I'm thinking maybe something got lost in pressure cooker language translation there. Either way, maybe it'd be best if you slow down with this new boy like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders? The coolest guy in school? The most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? We definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passion for spices, secret spices. The man even gave me some to show what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super duper rare dry flower petals, and if I did him a big favor, I could have my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice. He even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with him, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so now we've stayed in touch, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. And besides, I only know the one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Please, 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 it would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you or Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should we protect Colonel Sanders' secret or share it with your bestie? Nope. Tell the fake ingredient. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know, how about... It was Eye of Newt. I know, it sounds like some sort of witch's potion, but what can you do? Her eyes light up, imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school on a horse. Alright. What should I do? Stand back and admire his majestic glory, or run to him? What do you think? Alright. I'm gonna run to him. You decide that the best way to show Miriam how serious you and Colonel Sanders are would be to run to him. Surely he'll sweep you up into the back of his stallion and ride you away together. That'll show her good. Oh, Colonel, my Colonel. However, your sudden movements surprise the horse and it rears up, kicking you directly in the face. The force of the blow completely knocks you out cold. In the darkness, you see a vision. Ooh, Pogo, I am here to deliver you a message. Not this guy. It's important that you remember this exactly as I say it. If you forget, the world could end. So you know it's serious. I have been trapped in the realm beyond, but a great prophecy relies on my return. Only you can save me. All you need to do is repeat my name 3 times. And that name is... But before you can continue, you're suddenly awake. Ah, jeez. Alright. He roused you back to life with a satchel of secret spices. Or is that just his natural seasoned musk? Alright, what should I do? Mario Man. Should I compliment the craftsmanship of his horse's shoes? Or lean in for a kiss? I think I'm going to lean for a kiss. Alright, here we go. I'm going to lean in for a kiss. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You've known him for a day. Are you really sure? I guess you must be. You put your arms around Colonel Sanders' neck and pull him in for a kiss. But he turns his face and you awkwardly kiss his ear. You can feel him shudder. Too soon, you clearly mistook his compassion for love. Your soul crawls inside of itself and you instantly die of embarrassment. Game over! Aww. That's terrible. What? I was just trying to kiss Colonel Sanders. If loving him is wrong, I don't want to be right. Alright. Stand back and admire his majestic glory. Colonel Sanders' horse is truly a thing of beauty. Without ever acknowledging that he's being watched, he does a short horse dance before dismounting with a flourish. Then he slaps the beautiful creature gently on the rear. Wait, are we still talking about the horse? Sending it running free into the countryside. You are so struck by the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry. He knows the way home. Your attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beaut you have. What a horseful beaut you have. Dang it, that's what I just said. Being a good friend, Miriam attempts to cover for you. Oh, Pogo just gets really nervous around people they like. What? This is not helping. I mean, they got food poisoning and were up all night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it. She gives you a wink and a smile as to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way, they're hiding. You know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad. Experimenting with restricted ingredients bad. Summoning a demon bad. You try to get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder. But he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Act like you're not interested in them, but really try to get a closer look. Yeah. You sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van mutter something that sounds a bit like a magic spell. However, he notices you eavesdropping, you trying to cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules? I'm not sure you know a good meal if it ate you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look at what they were hiding and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. That's the same book I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall and they've been tossing potato skins at him. We're playing. Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. Beep, beep. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely you must know that this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of class today. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. Rub his furry dog belly. He loves it. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention in the lesson? Truly you do. Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name. What? But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, Naturally, this appears to you to be a simple platter. Which item do you want to sample? A glass of water, a shimmering pepper, and a dog biscuit. I say a glass of water. You grab the glass of water and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp like the purest snow melted by a mountain spring. Hey, that was mine. It was for my very favorite toilet. You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste. We all make mistakes. I'm sure I'll forgive you. Someday? Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim. And your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competitive cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. You're on. Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it. Good one, Van Van. I like your gumption. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. It's a lunchroom, not a sporting court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least not until we turn on the timer. Just then, a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, "Timer ready." That's what I'm talking about. Arrgh. I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case you were wondering. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure. I will defeat you myself. Alright, it's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What? That's wrong. Tail wagging intensifies. What state am I? When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Arrgh. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. What's the sound of excess? No, that's wrong. Next question. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you only makes you totally forget what you're doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. You're stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't be focused on a challenge. You're falling behind. You and Colonel Sanders. You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer. As you do this, the crowd gasps. Bzzzt. I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance sizzled in the kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. You might not have any hands, but Pogo does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to make sure it's properly mixed. Uh-oh. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed. Pogo, no! But you're not fast enough, and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. Look at your hand. You simply can't go on. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you'll find a delicate fried cheese croquette atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream two ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger into chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. As he places a sauce-covered finger onto his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Put yourself in between Colonel Sanders and Ashley. You reach out with your apron to wipe the sauce off his glistening face. Colonel Sanders recoils and brushes you back. Oh, man. This goatee isn't just a fashion statement, it's also functional. I was saving that flavor for later. Game over! Ugh. I gotta get through this. Terrible. It only takes you about 5 seconds to eat Miriam's tiny food, but it's just what you needed for motivation. Oh. Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. Arrgh. I believe in you, Pogo. He's actually cheering you on. What a hunk. I know, right? Woof woof. Oh. So my hand gets stuck no matter what. Internalize the rage you feel. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off of your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you, enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. What? I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount for something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Is it a spork monster? Gorko, the spork monster, is here to fight a hero. Is anyone else feeling a bit of deja vu? I'm sorry, Gorko, but I could have sworn we already battled you last night. That was Borko, my twin, and I, Gorko, am here to avenge them. Are you stronger than Borko? Well, we're twins, so no, not really. Well, we're pretty much exactly equal in every way. Why do you ask? Colonel Sanders smirks. He's already on the same page as you. It's just that we beat Borko pretty easily. I don't think you have much of a chance. Not to mention, I feel really guilty about that. If I could take it back, I would. I think what Pogo is saying is, can't we just be friends? I suppose. We really don't need to fight. It's just that I've got these pointy teeth and claws. All the better for enjoying tasty foods. Surely you like to eat, don't we all? Of course I do. Inspiration strikes and you come up with a quick idea. Chomp on this. You toss a biscuit into Gorko's open mouth and he devours it in one gulp. Delicious. You're much nicer than the evil students who once upon a time turned me into this creature. I don't believe it. You were a human once? Well, no, I was a chihuahua. but I was still a student at this school until one day some mean kids with a magic spell book cast a dark enchantment on me and I was forever transformed. A magic spell book. Precisely. Borko used to have a copy, but somewhere along the way I lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you respect it. You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear, I will be there. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal invite. You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping into Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago I made a decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Who knows? Both, perhaps? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? I say reveal it. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chow down on a creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a minute. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Just then, the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? No. Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open a window a crack, and the ghost of student is swept out with a breeze. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting in a corner of a table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was arrived. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of great state of Kentucky." An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor from the goatee and mustache combo he sports. You figure this must be the Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded, am I right? The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except that he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices. Uh-oh. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders, standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Spun silver. This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders, then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? What? You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet to find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off the hanger and try it on. Hey, what's up, Angel? The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off. You decide that now is your moment and make a big move. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This isn't that kind of game. Not that we blame you for trying, but still. Game over. Come on. Damn it. Alright, let's get to his apartment. I gotta click on some stuff. Scented candle. Power tool. Freshly starts color. No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's a large urn. It says, "Here lies the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. All right. I'm gonna tell him I'm cold. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I just got a little cold and thought this might warm me up. Colonel Sanders smiles and scoots close to the fireplace. You know, it's warm by the fire. Ron, you come a little closer. Suddenly, everything feels like it's moving too fast. Final exams are tomorrow. You should be thinking about what you're going to cook. You know, I should be home studying. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Pogo. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Wait. You slept over his house? Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, isn't even legal. Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. So you made fried chicken for breakfast. What's your cholesterol at? You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Aww, such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? You know, I think we might make a beautiful team. We might take a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? I stayed overnight at Colonel Sanders' house. It's okay, I was just... But now it turns out you're fine. I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure. I didn't get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however, bottling up your details your own. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened. But the emotional connection, wowzers. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, even though he himself might not grasp that fact. Because you know he's Pop. What's a swirly? Sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dip too. You've got some nerve, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but from the injury, yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well give up. Colonel Sanders arrives. Just as it appears things are close to boiling over. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you are passionate about how food is received. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Huh. Excuse me, Pogo. I'm more capable enough to speak for myself. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's that book? Looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in magic. A grimoire, like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would even spend so much time decorating a magic book if it wasn't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency. I could use this spell here. It says it will erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Alright, fine, it is drastic. Alright. You know, we got 2 people watching. Should we cast a forbidden spell or don't do it after all? Go for it. You begin to recite the spell, but you stumble on the words, and the only effect it seems to have is to make you forget what you were doing. Oh, right. After looking at the page again, it comes rushing back to you. You've got a memory erasing spell. Oh, I guess you can't do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles a sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. Were you studying something with Cinnamon? This actually brings up an important point. But before you can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirs and sparks. I told you to save it for after class. Bzz. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language. But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friends, Jeff and Joan? Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Clank begins to stutter. Steam pours out of the gap in his panels and in a loud ding. Looks like she broke him. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep friend footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. The final competition's showdown challenge. Uh-oh. I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug. How dare he embarrass me in a class like that, in front of everyone. Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke. I know that you know this. I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpoon lane of Success City. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe sort of, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it. You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Aw. I should really review my menu for today. And I bet that Professor Dog is going to love it up. My final challenge. Pogos' famous chicken pot pie. Your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's hilarious. Marley. Mom, you said 30 minutes ago this game was stupid. Then why are you still watching? Go to sleep. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. This reminds me so much of that Doki Doki Literature Club. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No, I can tell it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown's about to begin. There are no rules. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are the dishes you'll push over the edge of victory. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend batter blaster. Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid. Shallow personality spatula. Even Clank gets in on it. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clanks and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? No. Do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you got passion? I believe in you. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you since we were little kids because I'm your best friend forever. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's a secret ingredient. Oh no. However, she doesn't know that you lied and this ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals. It is I, Steve, the spork monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We spork monsters are many. I think Gorko had the day off. But you have conquered Steve, and I hate the battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? Sorry, Steve. I'm kind of middle of something. You didn't mind? Steve, the spork monster, notices you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscrossed some magical items and I accidentally summoned me, huh? Ha, yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles into a pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Munster winding up to tell a long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. You toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Give up and drop out. No. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came to win. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time. Because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked. Don't worry. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. I'm here to help. All you managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're gonna need it. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to release the most delicious fried chicken tenders. If we combine forces, we form the perfect food union. Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging from a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van Van have something to do with this? I thought a wedgie was a salad. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? You kids and your pranks. You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there's none. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Wow, 3 whole days. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles and savory soup. Ugh. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Ha. In a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. A+, rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Van Van, you're up. I made uni over smooth egg custard in a urchin cell, topped with caviar. A bit much. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. Youch. The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. Disqualified. Disqualified for glamour. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Next student, Ashley. I made Orange Blossom Turkish Delight. That actually doesn't sound bad. Don't eat it. It's meant to be a display case. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in yours or something? I told you, it's a display piece. See? This is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Which is why I cooked it. Did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. This isn't the last you've heard of me, either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in the kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, you pass, you pass, and you pass, you get pass. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive, even if Van and Ashley are drawn back by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house. Van and Ashley. Not another haunting. No ghost allowed at the graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. It's the Spork Monster. Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here out, I'd prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Dejected student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking. And you know she's going to do great. It's Pop. He arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Oh, Crown. Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to compete in the final exam and accept your diploma. So we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. It's Clank. Now that I have graduated, I can finally reveal my truth. Wow, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew this whole time. Now that I've learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I've just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figure out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand, kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Oh. Just like the first day you met him, he has become prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. The end? No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Pogo, what are you doing sitting all alone? Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, I don't know. A spicy musk, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. It truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me? Yes, I would love to. As you glide across the dance floor hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off. And I'll be so glad to spend it together with you. How sweet. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll need to do myself. But who will help you run your restaurants? I don't believe I'll need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with your other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I can enroll at a pastry school. Oh, my dear Pogo, I'm sure you'll find that place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end. Alright. Well, that was it. Alright. I'll see everybody later. Maybe I'll be back, I don't know. See you later.